Hello, welcome back to my channel. You're on Gist Books with Marie, with yours truly, Marie. Today's gist is on Tomorrow I Become a Woman. I love that title. I was so drawn to this book when I went shopping. First off, because my brother just got interested in this drawing or this artwork here. So while he was going on about the use of colors, I just looked at the face of this woman and I thought to myself, now there is a woman with so much emotion going on, right? You can see pain in this face. You can see she's looking away, looking to something, like she's trying to look for someone to help her, she's trying to look for someone to draw her out of where she is. She's trying to look for hope. And I just thought to myself, with that title and this cover page, I have to read this book. Now, this is a compelling read, and it's the first work of Aiwanose Odafen. This is her debut novel, and I must say, I'm really impressed with how the story unravels. Tomorrow I Become a Woman is set in Lagos, Nigeria, apparently, and it spans 21 years from 1978 to 1999. The book is centered on the heroine Obianuju, but in the course of the story, we get to visit the North and the East. Obianuju, as I said, is the heroine of the novel and takes us into the world of women in abusive marriages. She is strong-willed, she's intelligent, she's outspoken, and she's got this drive to better herself, to advance her education and just do something great with her life. But she's got an Achilles heel, and that is this undying need to make her mother proud at any cost. She would just be the perfect daughter, anything, as long as her mother can say, yes, I am pleased with this daughter of mine. And so Obianuju meets this handsome guy in church. He's a chorister. And every girl is falling all over for this guy. And somehow he's got his eyes set on her. And what's worse, he reminds her of her dear uncle Ikenna, who's been missing since after the war. A few months after meeting him, they get married. And then her story begins. He's a journalist by profession, too. I have to say that because it plays an important role in the course of the story, which unravels during the time where military rule and civilian rule is the order of the day. Power is changing between democratic and military rule. And so we watch her marriage unfold during this uncertainty. We find Uju growing, adapting, and just trying to become this woman that she wasn't planning to be during the course of the story. Uju is repressed into becoming this ideal wife by her mother and the church leaders, even though she's in this really precarious situation. But it's like, it's not about you, Uju. It's not about you, Uju. It's about us. It's about the church. It's about your mother. It's about your family. So it doesn't matter what you're going through, just endure, and that's how we just get to see everything Uju just goes through. Being that the book is written in the first person narrative, we get to feel every emotion, confusion, every desire of the protagonist. Now, this is a woman who, with her friends, has been brought up to view marriage and childbearing as the ultimate of every woman. And so, what can she do? She's got to stay, right? Anyway, quite a number of themes are explored in this novel. Themes such as love, innocence, infatuation. There is disillusionment, nostalgia, tribalism, abusive marriage, loveless marriage. It's all in the mix. Redemption and friendship. Friendship is the ultimate that is discussed in this book. It is explored so well in this very gripping tale of a woman going through so much. In fact, friendship, right off the bat, or in page 14, I have to read that part, will play an important role in Uju's life. Let me tell you how serious it is. The three of us had been, this is Uju talking now, the three of us had been inseparable since we were waddling about in diapers, and our mothers had the black and white photographs showing tiny chubby versions of ourselves and flashing toothless grins to prove it. There was a story to this. Our mothers had met in the late 40s at the back of a packed bus. The three of them were young and newly married Igbo women on a one-way trip from southeastern region of Nigeria to Lagos to meet the husbands their parents had chosen and married for them in absentia. Terrified of their unknown futures, they had created an unbreakable friendship at the back of that bus, one so thick it had withstood time and all its tests. Mama always said she would never have survived the city without them by her side. They were her godsend. So we get it immediately how important friendship is, not just to these women, but I mean, generally, you can relate, right? Friendship is an important theme in life. And this trio, that's Obianuju, Adaugo, and Chinelu, will be each other's support system pretty much throughout the book. And even when she doesn't have them, there will be other friends that will step in and help her. Now, there's this particular friend. I'm going to try to not say much about her, Sally. Sally is a big juxtaposition when it comes to Uju. And then you find Sally. Sally is so different from them. And eventually, we'll get to see how, even though Sally doesn't get married at some point, we still see this patriarchal society really downplaying what these women can achieve and how much they can be. They're the women in marriage still being played down by the patriarchal society, and then there's a woman who's not married still being played down by the patriarchal society. But if I must say, Sally is one of my favorite characters in this book. Anywho, there is so much to like about the book. One gets to see the emotional repercussions of the Civil War on a lot of people, because this book is actually set in a time just after the Civil War. So we get to see how this affects them, the losses they suffer, and how it affects their memories, even up to old age. I think this is the only time in the book we see the humane side of Mama. We get to see how the system birthed and encouraged corruption. So the intensity with which the protagonist's experiences are conveyed inspires in me so much. I really got to like how the author was able to make us see and feel everything the protagonist went through. It's so bad that at some point I found myself screaming, "Mama, get a grip on yourself! She's your child!" And then there were other times I was like, okay, let me just close this book. Yes, that was how emotional I got reading this book. Look, honestly, this is a book I would recommend for every young reader, especially young girls between the ages of 18 and 27. Don't just get into marriage because you're catching feelings. Oh, there's more to marriage, honestly. Anyways, I really admire and commend the author for her debut work. This is amazing. Now, my only setback would be the way the flashback was done in the course of the writing. First, it was okay, but at some point, it started getting really confusing because you didn't know when you had left one scene into another scene. And it was worse because you had left one time into another time. I don't think I'm going to fault the writer. I think I might fault the editors on this part. But that said, this is a book I would say comes highly recommended, because whether you like it or not, though this book was set in 1978 and spanned all the way to 1999, what the protagonist went through is still something we are experiencing in our society. And it's so good that we all are aware of this. And if you know someone who's in need of help, reach out to these people. These women are going through a lot and they need friends. So that said, trust me, emotions will run high when you read this book. All in all, it's a wonderful book. I commend the author, Aiwanose Odafen. Great job, great book. I would say it's highly recommended. You should read it. And if you do read it, please tell me, who do you think is the bad guy? Let me know in the comment section. Until then, all my social media accounts are just right down there. So I'm a click away. Click there and we will continue to connect. It's all about connection. I look forward to connecting with you. Drop your comments. I want to read. I want to know what you felt about the book, how you felt about the book, what you thought about the book, who you thought the bad guy was. At what point did you think the protagonist should have called it quits in this marriage? What do you think? Just, I'm curious. Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to share, subscribe, and like. Like. I know you like. Ciao.